In this lecture, we will see how to set up custom print format in Doctypes. Let's start learning. Let's open web application. Then here I'm going to add a custom print format in server-side scripting Doctype. But before that, let's see what is the standard print format of server-side scripting. I'm opening one document. Then this is my demo document, and if you click on this print, we can see different print format in this window. So now we can see the standard print format. If we have multiple print format, we can select that using this select area. Now we don't have any other print format, so it shows the standard one. So next we can select our language here. I'm not changing the language, and we can also select letterhead for this print format. Now I didn't set up any letterhead here, so it shows no letterhead. And next process is we can print this form by clicking on this print button, and it shows some print preview. Then we can change landscape, portrait, then number of prints and all things here. And if the printer is connected, you can see the print button, and then the printer will print this form. Let's cancel this and go back to our previous window. We can also convert this form into PDF by clicking this PDF button. Now it automatically converts that form into PDF. So let's close this. Now let's see how to add a custom print format for this server-side scripting Doctype. For that, let's open one more tab. We can add custom print format using one Doctype, and it is print format. Let's open print format. Here we can add different print formats. Here I'm going to add a new print format, and I'm selecting our server-side scripting Doctype here. Then let's add a name for that print format. Server-side scripting print format 1. Then I'm not setting this as a standard one, so I just select no here. Then it should be in programming module. Our default language is English. Then I'm not changing anything here. We can also add custom CSS, and we will do that later. So then save this. Now our print format is saved, and if you go back to server-side scripting print window and reload the page, we can see our server-side scripting 1 print format here. Now it shows default one. Let's change that print format. I'm going back to print format list and opening the server-side scripting 1 print format. Click on this edit format button, and here we can add our customization. So let's remove this section, and I'm also removing this section. Okay, let's start with edit that heading section, and click on this edit heading, and here we can add our custom formats. So if I want to add something here, let's open a h1 tag. Then I'm adding some lines here. Then update it and save it. Then go back to print format window and reload it. We can see our message, this is for testing here. Now we successfully completed our first customization in this print format. So next I'm adding some more lines here. I'm just removing this server-side scripting line from heading. Let's add demo print here, then update it. We can see our new word here. Save this, and now it shows server-side scripting here. Let's reload, and we can see demo print here. So the heading part we can customize using this edit heading area. We can also fetch values from our client-side scripting using doc object. For example, here we can see one Jinja formatting is inside this small tag, and inside that we can see the name is calling using the object doc.name. So if I change the doc.name into some other value, let's open our server-side scripting document in a new tab, and here I'm going to fetch that DOB field in printing heading, and the field name is DOB. Let's go back to the print format and add DOB here, then update it and save it. Go back to print format window and refresh. Now we can see the date of birth in print heading. So this is how we can fetch values in print format. I am adding two more sections in print format. So let's remove this line and update it. Click on add a new section, and inside this section we can drag and drop different fields. For example, if I need first name in this section, we can drag that first name field here and drop it. Now the first name is added to that section. Go back to print format and reload it. Sorry, refresh this page. And select server-side script 1 print format. It shows some more lines here. So let's reload the page to clear the cache. Then let's select server-side scripting 1. It also shows some lines. Let's go back and save this. And now we can see the first name field here. Let's add some more field into that section. Middle name, then last name, and let's add one more section. Inside that section, let's add email, then mobile number, then save this and reload the print format window. Now we can see some random names here. First name is not a proper name, so that's why it is showing like this. Now let's see how to arrange these fields into different rows and columns. Go back to print format, then click on this icon, and here we can set the number of columns. Align that section into 2 columns. Then let's add a section heading, section 1, then update it. Now the fields are aligned to 2 columns. Let's add age here. Now save this and go back to window, then reload this. Now we can see that section is aligned into 2 columns, and we can see age field, but the section heading is not present here. Let's reload the page to clear the cache and select this print format. Now also it is not showing. Let's go back and save it again, then refresh this page, select that one, then click on this icon, and it shows, will only show if the headings are enabled. So let's enable that heading. Click on edit properties, then show section heading checkbox is here. Click on that checkbox and save this. Then go to edit print format and reload this. Now we can see the section 1 here, and let's add a section 2 after last name. Click on this icon, then I'm not changing the number of columns. Let's add section 2 and update. I'm adding one more section, and the section name is section table, and update it. Here I'm going to show that family members table here. So let's drag and drop that table here. Let's save this and go to this print format window, then reload it, and now we can see 3 sections: section 1, section 2 and section table. Inside that section table we can see our table just like us here, the name, relation and age. So if I add one more field here, then and age 32, save this, then go back to print format view and reload it. Sorry, refresh it, select the new print format, and now we can see the second row also here. We can add some customization in table. Let's go to print format edit property window, then click on this select columns. Here we can see the column names. If I don't want to see this relation field, let's uncheck this and update it, then save this and go back to print format, reload it. Now the relation field is not present inside this table, and we can also customize the column width inside this width box. I am adding 10 here, then age, let's add 90 and update, save this and reload it. And now we can see the age column width is increased and the name column width is decreased here. Let's see how to add some custom HTML into these sections. So for adding custom HTML, just drag and drop this custom HTML field here, and now I added one custom HTML in section 1. Then click on this edit HTML. Here we can add our HTML codes. So let's add a div tag here, and inside that I am adding some lines. Custom HTML and update it, then save this and go back to print format, reload it, and we can see this is from custom HTML. Now let's add one more field inside this section 1 using Jinja templating. For that, let's edit HTML, then I'm adding one more div tag here, then inside that let's add DOB field, sorry, DOB. So this will return the date of birth. I'm adding date of birth here, then update it, then click on save, reload it, and now we can see the date of birth inside this section 1. Now let's see how to add some CSS here. Let's inspect this page and let's go to date of birth and so print format font size is 9. Let's add this to 15. Now the font size is increased and I'm going to increase the font size only for this date of birth field. So let's copy this, close this, inspect, and open this print format, edit HTML. Let's add a class here. I'm adding name DOB, then update and click on edit property. Let's add some CSS here. The class name is DOB and I'm adding that font size property in DOB class. Let's save this, go back to print format and reload this page. Select our print format and it doesn't show that. Let's reload it. Inspect it and can't see the DOB class here, so let's go to print format and edit format, then click on edit HTML. So the class is gone, so let's add class one more time. Then update, then save. I think I forgot to save this document. Let's go back to server side scripting print format, then reload it. Now we can see the date of birth font is increased. Let's add one more CSS and I'm adding one background color for this. So copy this property and go to edit property and add that property in this custom CSS field. Save this and close this inspector. Reload this page. Select our print format and now we can see that background is changed to aqua. So this is how we can add CSS into print format.